Japanese poet once said, "Everything in life can be achieved with a strong and positive attitude, because life is 10% as you make it and 90% as you take it." Good evening and a very warm welcome to the webinar Impact of COVID-19 on Employment and Upskilling, the New Normal by Mr. Nilesh Maurya, organized by the Department of Commerce, RD National College in association with IQAC CEL. There is no joy greater in this world than for a teacher to felicitate her own student. So it gives me immense pleasure and pride to welcome Mr. Nilesh Maurya, alumnus RD National College. Today he is a director Omega Capital, a financial wizard, and associated with Amity University. When he was a student, he was very active in organizing seminars, workshops, guest lectures. He organized Brand Gyan, Innovation, and several others. Today, the entire world is going through a sea change. Nobody knows what will happen to the world post-COVID. There will be new skill sets that will be required, and he's here to enlighten us. The new normal is going to be unlearn, learn, and relearn. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Professor Lakshmi Iyer, Head Department of Commerce and Vice Principal, for taking efforts to organize this webinar. I'd also like to thank Dr. Milind Kulkarni, Professor Dinesh Himmat Singhani, and Professor Manish Karale and team for giving the technical support for this webinar. I'd like to welcome all the principals, vice principals, faculty, researchers, PhD scholars, and of course my dear students who have gathered to understand the new skill sets that will be required post-COVID. I conclude with the famous words of an Olympic gold medalist. Dreams require effortless sleep, but aims require sleepless efforts. Thank you for joining us today. Happy learning.
Good afternoon to one and all. I now request Vice Principal Professor Lakshmi Iyer to say a few words about the webinar.
Takeaways from COVID-19. The first, life is precious and should be respected. Second, jobs are temporary. Third, the biggest wealth is health. Fourth, always save for a contingency. 5, believe in God the Almighty. And 6, e-learning is a reality. Keeping this in mind, the Department of Commerce, under the aegis of IQAC, has organized today's webinar. I am extremely thankful to our in-charge principal, Dr. Neha Jagtiani, the entire technical support team which we received from the Departments of Physics, IT and Computer Science, my colleagues from the Faculty of Commerce, the entire IQAC team, and all participating principals, vice principals, heads of departments, researchers, industry professionals, and my dear students. I welcome you all to today's webinar. I am delighted to have with us the resource person, Mr. Nilesh Maurya, who is the Director, Investment Banking in Omega Capital and also a member of the Board of Studies in Amity University. We are proud because he is an alumnus of our college. The topic for today is Impact of COVID-19 on Employment and Upskilling, the New Normal. I now ask my technical team to formally introduce our keynote speaker for the day. Thank you.
See what location, what place, what time is it, how is the situation there, then we'll allow people. The first, the first set that will come to office, again in those 50% is someone that requires to be in office there. Otherwise, it's not required to come here. And May 2021 is the timeline which they are saying that they can expect offices to open. It's still not a surety. They are still contemplating. In fact, Twitter, Jack Dorsey made a statement yesterday saying that it's fine. Let's go. Jack Dorsey made a statement. It's fine. We might continue people working from home for lifelong. That's fine as far as they are ready to deliver. So I have been scanning through a lot of these sites because I coach a lot of students in their placement, especially on the MBA level, and especially at my alma mater like National College. It is about, if you go to the Amazon website, this portion was not available. If you go to their career section, this wasn't available a couple of months back or before COVID, where they call it about virtual locations. They have started giving out remote jobs. And believe me, these are not survey filling forms. These are actual locations. Whether you become a customer care executive from your home, whether you become a delivery in charge, where you have to track down people and see, go visit this website. It's beautiful. It has currently, last I checked 3 months back, not 3 months back, last week, there were around 300 jobs which Amazon is providing where you can work from home. There are these new business model coming up, which is known as Crossover for Work. Again, a beautiful company if you are looking at. Now, one of the questions which I see from a lot of people is, and I'll give you some good anecdotes. One of my students in MBA came and said, "Sir, मैं घर से काम करूँगा हमेशा, तो मेरी शादी कैसे होगी?" He's like, my in-laws might come and tell me, "अरे ये तो घर पे बैठा हुआ है तुम्हारा लड़का, क्या कमाता हो?" But that's all changing. If you go and look at a company called Crossover for Work, this gives only jobs which are above managerial level. And they say, we give you work without the restriction of your borders. So in fact, they had approached me for a couple of positions. They said, why don't you become director of investment banking for an investment bank in Russia? He's like, we'll provide you all the tech that is required, which will make them feel that you are there. But you, again, your decision is, there is no time limit, nothing till the time you are ready to deliver. And these are properly paid jobs. If you look at the screenshot, I think it's not clear, but if you go on their website, it requires 50 hours a week, and they pay you like $100,000 for a year, which is like a proper Wall Street job. So now when the models are changing, when the businesses are changing, let's move to the last part of our presentation, which is like, what skills do you require right now? It looks very easy sitting at home and working and all that, but if you don't have those skills, if you ask your parents and all, if they are almost in their retirement ages, they might be struggling with Zoom calls and stuff like that, where they might be asking you for assistance ki beta ye karke de do, beta mera webcam nahi chal raha hai, meri awaaz nahi ja rahi hai. So these are skills they can still survive, because they say they are in the last leg of their jobs or their careers, but we are budding careers. We can't say, sir, मेरे को TikTok और Facebook चलाने के अलावा टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता है. You will have to understand and learn certain things which you require in the new normal. First of all, strong domain knowledge. If you heard all of my presentation, I made emphasis on one point. No one is tracking your time right now. So all that chaploosi business is gone, where the boss used to get happy कि अरे यार ये मेरा employee सुबह 7 बजे आया, रात को 7 बजे तक बैठा है. It's all going to be your delivery, and delivery will come only if you have your domain knowledge. Because your boss might not even see you in a freelancing economy. उनको पता नहीं है. Their employee might say India से कोई काम करके भेज रहा है. So your work will have to speak for you. It's not going to be your face, your pleasing attitude, or all those frails which actually subsided our hard work will go off. You'll have to start working smart. You'll have to have strong domain knowledge. You can't say मेरा balance sheet tally नहीं होता है. You will have to tally that balance sheet anyhow and give it. Tech savviness. Like I said, you can't say, sir, मेरे को TikTok चलाने आता है, इसके अलावा मेरे को कुछ नहीं आता. Technology will have to be your best friend, whether it is delivery, whether it is cloud saving, whether it is anything, wherever you use around, whatever your domain requires you to do it. There are e-studios, virtual studios, which are coming up, which gives you editing rights, like you are sitting in a studio. So those things will come in. Data literacy. Again, data is called the fourth industrial revolution. If you don't know how to use data and come to meaningful decisions, everything is waste. We saw a revolution where clothes were made, retail came up, Now you have specialized laundries to treat those clothes. Now with the computing for over 50 years, there is supernatural data that is there in the world. I mean, our phones, if you track back your phones, your iPhone, which was a 16 GB 10 years back, suddenly it's 256 GB because you are suddenly running out of your data space. And if you don't know how to use your data space, it's all dead. So you have to know. I'm not saying it's data analytics, but agar aapko balance sheet, if you have been even on Tally, your Tally balance sheet looks much different from your physical, where you used to draw lines and make a balance sheet. So you should know that data, and these are n number of data. You should know how to process it, and especially the tools that can process it. Out of the box thinking and innovation. Yes, innovation is going to play a role, because especially for the people who are going to be employed in next 1 year or 2 years time, you will have to find solutions which creates efficiency much better. So you'll have to use everything, your intelligence, your inspiration, creativity, create a vision, start doing. If you follow the case study or read Harvard Business Review or publications like that way, you know that Mercedes has already started a division where they are building up breathing aids. So what they say is, irrespective whether COVID is there or not, you will have a mask which will give you a breathing, which will clear your air, make it much fresher, make it more germ free. So if a Mercedes, which used to make class A vehicles and automobiles, is shifting, we are just peanuts in this whole world, or maybe you can say we are just needle in this world of grass. Coding. If there is going to be so much of machines, if there is going to be so much of data, you will be required to learn certain amount of codes. You can't speak to machine, or hello Siri, or okay Google, do this. If okay Google speaks back to you, but there are thousands of codes which run behind it. And I'm not saying go back, learn C, C++, or do engineering codes, but there are going to be certain CSSs, basic customization tools, which you will have to know, which you will have to fit into things, make it more customizable. So your digital skills, your web development, your tech savviness is all going to be a test in the next 2 years time. And the next big thing is again emotional IQ, which again, at least in India, we speak very less about. Now what emotional IQ is, now when you are sitting in your home and glued on the screen, you have a big emotional turn down. If you see all the governments, they have been speaking about mental health. This is what mental health is. Your emotional quotient will be at test, and it's not going to be only your IQ. For you, it's going to be a survival process. I have seen students breaking down, sir, nahi samajh mein aa raha hai class mein kya ho raha hai online. But this is where you have to take your emotional quotient and try to fit in every industry that you form a part of in years to come. The last and the most important thing, commit to a lifetime of learning. I was speaking to Lakshmi ma'am, and Lakshmi ma'am was telling me a couple of days back while we were discussing that she's been on a laptop learning something or the other. Or most of us have been attending webinars like the one which we are doing right now. You will have to commit learning, because COVID has taught us one thing. You don't know when is the life going to change. When do we have the next attack? What does it puts us in front of us? Today you are told to be inside. Tomorrow you might be told that your computers are redundant to use. You might have to take up a completely new technology in your hand. That's what COVID has given us, that you can't stop learning. We saw cases like this where companies stopped learning and they disappeared. BlackBerry is a great example. Nokia is a great example. What we say, they did not innovate. Now it's come to humans. If you are not innovating, you are not better than what you were yesterday, you are redundant. The world is changing at that pace. So that was my crux and my intake. A lot of this might not turn out to be what I'm saying, but this is what I see, at least for the next couple of years of happening. And for kids who have joined up on this call, looking for internships, looking for jobs, guys, this is going to lay your foundation, at least, even if the world changes after 2 years, comes back to normal. But these are certain things. Innovation once made cannot be taken back. So if there is an innovation which has come in, people will continue to use it unless they have something better, rather than going to something obsolete. So that's what my short presentation was. I will open myself to questions if any one of you has something to ask me. although I am also in a learning phase, so I'm not sure how much I will be able to answer, but these are my coordinates. If you want to get in touch later on, you can get in touch with me. I'll try to answer as many as possible, and I leave it to the moderators to open the question queue.
Thank you, sir.
So when do you think the college university will open?
No specific timeline. There is no specific timeline. In US, at least, there has been a statement by the Central Education Authority that they are looking for their fall semester, which begins in October. But in India, we still don't have. And I mean, as far as the things are right now, at least in Bombay, it doesn't. I mean, we don't see a future when are we walking out of our house. Forget about colleges and things opening up. And even if they open up sooner, they will have certain restrictions which we as educators might have to implement in our classes. How do we make our children sit with a class of 60? You can't now accommodate in the old classrooms. If you keep them at distance, you might have to take 2 classes for the same division. So there are going to be new rules of the game. I'm not sure of any particular timeline of how things are going to function out or how the regulators are looking at it.
Thank you, sir.
Considering the current financial situation in the country, do you think it will be easy for startups to get requisite funds?
We are not seeing any startups getting funding very soon because most of the investors are already investing into companies which they have already invested into. In fact, we are telling most of our startups, if you want to survive, so startups has a formula. If you want to survive, you have to stay on cash for 18 months. I mean, you need at least 18 months of cash in your bank account to survive. With Corona coming in, we are asking it to take it to 24 months. So you are going to see a lot of startups just shutting down shop. In fact, if you know a lot of, I mean, I'm a big foodie. If you have been and eaten macarons at Love 15, patisserie, it's all gone. So you can't actually predict what's going to happen, what's not going to happen here. But definitely funding is not something that is happening at least for next 1 year.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So what strategies would you recommend for Swiggy to recover the loss they have suffered for the lockdown period?
There are 2 ways, and I'm coming back to basic economics as an investor, I think. First is profit maximization, or at least now we call it operational maximization. How do you bring your operations into something right now? And something known as cost cutting. On the cost cutting side, they are already hiving off a lot of people. But Swiggy is a very wrong example because Swiggy was never profitable. So for them, they are just doing damage control of whatever is lost. There could be a scenario. If you read Zomato's yesterday's news, if you go to their information section on their website, they have closed down 150 offices out of 200 across the world. So there could be a wipeout scenario where we might see Swiggy and Zomato just going off the shelf. But okay, so I'm sure their strategy team is much stronger to build in certain things. Like taking up groceries on board is a survival strategy. So currently everyone is in damage control. No one is thinking. So maybe 3 months down the line, we have an answer to this. Currently everyone is just trying to breathe and survive rather than looking at profitability coming in.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
What would be the impact on manufacturing industries?
Sir, so manufacturing, I would want you to put in the slide which I spoke about which sector. Manufacturing, if you are speaking about essentials, they are all running fine. They had an impact for 15 days. It's all come back normal. I'm not speaking about profitability coming back again. Because if you speak about... Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Please.
Capital goods I'm talking about. Capital goods.
Capital goods, it's still going to take time because infrastructure is the last thing on the minds of the government. But I believe government will slowly give a push to it because there is a lot of interest for companies moving from China to India. So you will have to make emphasis on capital. But I see that falling after essentials.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
As we all know that life is a learning process, change is constant and nothing is predictable. In that situation, when we become tech savvy, whatever skill is needed, how do we handle our emotional intelligence in such a scenario?
So I mean, I'm not from a psychology department or that side of things, but yes, I've
no, but
done. I've done certain certifications in human psychology in terms of business. With that basic knowledge, I can tell you that anyways, it was considered that the next best job in 2030 would be the person who can take you away from your screen. So if you ask me to push up my emotional intelligence, I'll give you my personal example. I have divided my calendar into professional and personal. Even when I am at home, I see to it that I am not taking up too much of job in hand, which I can't deliver. And once you start getting success in these jobs, because all this is still new to you, your emotions slowly start picking up. But you have to see to it that you are connected back to a human. We as Indians can't be in a Japanese economy where, there are people who are confined in a room, don't come out of it for years together and just are developing something. And there have been cases where people are dead inside and no one knows about them. So we are definitely not progressing towards that thing, but you have to find your... People put it as meditation. I don't call it as meditation. What I do is, if I take away my screen time, I basically go into reading, which is my kind of meditation. So you have to keep doing what you like. You just have to find newer ways to do it. And please give yourself a break from the screen. Don't end up work on a laptop and go back to watching Netflix. You are practically stressing yourself again and again with the same harmful things. So it's better give the time what you like, what you want to do. Stay connected to humans, speak to people. This is a fabulous time. I was a big guy who used to come and say, yaar, meko mere family ke liye time nahi milta. Now I have all my time for my family. So keep that human touch alive and do what you like. I believe that's the biggest way you can keep up your emotional quotient up and deliver much better and be more productive.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Good evening, sir. This is Maninder Walia. I teach in junior section, FYJC and SYJC students.
Yes.
We are having students, approximately 120 students in a class.
Yeah.
And they are from school. So we are wondering how should we teach them? What will the scenario of these junior college students? Can you put some light on that?
Again, ma'am, there is no perfect answer to it. Every one of us is doing, like I was recently taking up a class as Amity's exchange program for Columbia University, where I had a class of 30 people for MBAs and the professor had the same question. Like, I don't know how should I manage a class of 30. There is no right and wrong answer. You have to check and correct what's happening, what's not happening, what's working with you, what's not working with you. But I believe if you give them, here is where your innovation will come into a picture, where you give them that kind of work which they like, rather than only sticking to your portions. There could be some assignment, some homework, which, gives you enough that the person has been tested, but you will have to find innovative ways to reach out to them, because there are teachers who are facing the same issue in KG. There are professors facing the same issue in MBS. So you will have to find your way and what suits your children. So it's now no more going to be a teacher delivery and the student. What we usually ask students in classroom, ki bhai bolo karo. Now they will have to actually get into a two-way communication with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
So my question is, as I'm a TY student, so currently the job situation is in a very haywire situation. The current market scenario is very haywire. So we might look for internships, like online internships or courses.
Yeah.
So how do we come to know that there are genuine courses or internship offered for us?
So look. So there, if you are asking me in this today's world, there is very less you can go wrong on. First question, are you on LinkedIn? LinkedIn gives you a proof of a lot of things which you are looking at around. So if you are applying for a company which looks shady, you have review systems on LinkedIn which tells you ki boss ye galat hai ya ye sahi hai. You can check back with people who are there on their panel. Secondly, look at websites like Glassdoor, which run exactly like Zomato review system for companies. So you, in this age of data, you do not have to face that issue. Ye company fraud hai ki nahi hai. You have all the material online which you can go and search and look at companies which are ready to innovate. You'll find them in the sectors which I have spoken about, because these guys are all in for work and they are already innovating the way they want things to work out. But if you're looking at something like a SBI is going to take 6 months to even understand what's going to happen next. Okay. So you start looking, start reading around. You'll come to know these. I mean, there are no check back principles. Anyone can turn out to be a fraudster or something like that, and it's very easy online. I mean, your concern is very correct, but there is no hard and fast thing. You have to go online, search, dig deeper into data, spend some time, understand whether that the work which has been allotted you fits in that company's business model somewhere or the other. If it is not fitting, you directly know that these guys are running something foolish. And one last thing to add on to it, remember, jobs are not that easy. If a company comes to you and says, we are paying you this salary and you are getting a job, सामने से please apply, do not fall for it. This is where frauds happen. I have never seen Hero Honda coming to me and saying, boss, तुम्हारा काम अच्छा लगता है, कल से तुम आके हमारा GM finance बन जाओ. So jobs, this thing is not going to change. It's always going to be outward because the demand and supply mechanism there is, the supply for employees is much more than the demand. So there is never going to be. So first filter is, जो job तुमको सामने से है वो job है ही नहीं.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We are done with the question and answer session. I now take this opportunity to thank our speaker of the day, Mr. Nilesh Maurya. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your precious and valuable time and for all the inputs. I'm very sure it is going to help our students immensely. I also take this opportunity to thank our principal, Dr. Neha Jagtiani, our vice principals, IQAC team, and obviously the people part of the organizing committee, Dr. Milind Kulkarni, Mr. Akshay Nimkar, Mr. Akbar Khan, Mr. Manish Karale, and a very big thank you to all the participants for making this webinar a success. All the participants are requested to kindly fill up the feedback form. Feedback form will be made available to you. The feedback form will be made available to you all by 7 p.m. today. Please do fill it up. Last date for filling up the feedback form is 23rd, and by 26th, you all will get your e-certificates. I again thank all the participants for being a part of this webinar, and hope you have a good time ahead. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for being there and giving your precious time to me. I'm always available. My coordinates are there on the screen. And one thing, my last message to everyone, please survive this together. If you find any questions, reach out to people, speak to them, take decision based on it, because all of us are new to this. So especially the one who asked me what happens, please go back to your teacher and check if ma'am ये job आया ये करने लायक है कि नहीं. Yeah.
Thank you, Nilesh. Thank you, Nilesh.
So when will you Nilesh feedback form?
Thank you, Nilesh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nilesh, for such a lovely lecture.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bless you.
I would like to thank Professor Nilesh Maurya for giving us his ever precious and valuable time. I also would like to thank our principal, Dr. Neha Jagtiani, our vice principal, Professor Lakshmi Iyer, IQAC team, and our technical team of Dr. Milind Kulkarni, Mr. Akshay Nimkar, Mr. Akbar Khan, and Mr. Manish Karale, without whose efforts this webinar would not have been possible. I also would like to thank all the participants for making this webinar a success. I also request all the participants to kindly fill up a feedback form that will be provided to you by 7 p.m. today. The last date for submitting the feedback form is 23rd of May, and e-certificates will be mailed to you all latest by 26th of May. I thank you all once again. Stay safe, stay at home.